Good morning, good afternoon, everybody, and happy Friday. You're tuning into Tisha Talks live at 10:45. So excited to be with you. It is February, so happy February to all of you. I hope you're in for a wonderful month ahead, and of course, happy early Valentine's Day. But before I bring in my special guest, Solita C. Roberts, she is going to be talking to us all about how to unlock your outer confidence. I want to just give a shout out to those of you who are going to be watching online or watching the replay, watching this live. We encourage you. We want you to say hi. We want you to tell us where you're from. And if you have any questions throughout this entire broadcast, we are watching the feed. And even if you're not watching this live, you can always send those comments through and we'll respond to them once the broadcast is off the air. But I want to give a big shout out to some people, give you some announcements that are coming up. Want to say thank you to Gateway Bank. They are a proud sponsor of Tisha Talks Live at 10:45. Also, the sponsor for this event that's coming up. This is an event that I host out here in Phoenix. It is Social Connect Phoenix for entrepreneurs and business professionals. It's coming up on Wednesday, February 8th. So, as you guys know, if you're living in the Phoenix area or hey, you love football, we are hosting Super Bowl next weekend, February 12th. It's happening. So, this is like my pre-game extravaganza. So, this is for entrepreneurs and business professionals to come get connected, breaking out the cornhole boards, breaking out the beer pong without the beer, some healthy, fun competition. Great way for you to socialize with some people that you haven't yet met. We have a great crowd coming, and you can find more information at bit.ly/socialconnectphx Feb 8 for details and tickets. And before I bring Solita on, you know how I love to do it. I love to be able to just share a little bit about what I do. I know a lot of people come to this show either through way of our guests, or perhaps you're like, who is this girl? And I've always been asked the question, what exactly do you do? So a big shout out again to Sven. Sven created this little mini get to know me video, and we're going to go ahead and play that. Feel free to dance. I know I always do. I know Solita will probably be dancing in the background too before I bring her in. But let's go ahead and hit this, and then we will be back in just a second. Well, I saw Solita a little bit dancing in the background there. So before I bring her in, I know we have some people joining us off of Facebook. So thank you, or Facebook and LinkedIn. Thank you so much to Bruce Carnahan and Mr. Groovy, my loyal followers that come to this every Friday. All right, so we are ready to get going with our guest and our topic. So we're going to go ahead and add Solita here. Solita Roberts joining us. She is an image stylist, and she is with Style to Impact. And today, of course, we're talking about how to unlock your outer confidence. And I love this topic so very much, Solita. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being my special guest today.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm super excited. I see some familiar faces in the chat, so it's always good to have it's always good to have those familiar faces. It does put the conversation and nerves at ease. So, thanks to Bruce as one of those people in the chat. Thanks for being here.
Thanks to Bruce. And yes, thanks to Luis, Mr. Groovy out of LA for tuning in. And I know we get people tuning in on all sorts of platforms. So again, do not be shy. Solita and I do not bite. We want to make sure we answer those questions for you. So please comment, share questions that you have. We're going to get on with our first question. But I also just want to say, Solita, I just saw that you were in Atlanta. You're still in Atlanta?
Yes, I am. And I'm having a love-hate relationship with Atlanta right now with the weather. It's been unusually cold, at least for me. I'm a Caribbean girl at heart. Like that's where I spent all my life. Most of my life I lived there, sunshine. So being in 30, 40, 60 degrees weather, does not work for me. So, but yes, yes, Atlanta's great except for that. The 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 winter we're having right now is crazy.
I am actually making my way there in May.
Oh,
My sister and I are doing a little fun sister birthday trip. We're going to,
ah,
I have a good friend that lives in the historic district in Grant Park area in
okay.
Atlanta. So I'm going to go see her. I know Kevin Weekly, who's one of my friends on LinkedIn, connecting with him. And we're just doing a sister trip. So we're going to Atlanta, Savannah, and then we're driving to Nashville and flying out of Nashville. So I'm
Oh,
so, so
that
excited.
sounds incredible. I had a sister trip once. Well, actually, it was my birthday, but I was like, asked my sister to come with me. We went to Vegas, so
Oh, yeah.
that was fun.
Vegas. Vegas is a wild ride. Vegas, fun.
Yes, it's very
All right.
interesting.
So, Salita, question for you. We were talking about confidence today, and I've often gotten this question asked to me, and I would love to hear from you. Do you feel like confidence is something you're born with, or do you feel like you establish that confidence along the way? And can confidence be taken? Can it be taken? So, kind of a loaded question, but I want to
Yeah,
dive into this before we
I
talk
mean,
about how to
we're
get it.
well, you're coming in hot with the question.
I am. I'm like three questions. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay, so personally speaking, I think confidence is something that you develop over time. I mean, I think back as to when I was a kid, I wouldn't say I was confident. And I think that comes to the reason why I would say I wasn't confident because I was probably shy too. I didn't interact with a lot of people. So I didn't know what my confidence level was. Like, okay, would I go on stage and dance and sing and have a whole grand time? Like, I didn't know that because I was shy. But as we're growing into ourselves and discovering who we are, we develop that confidence bone in terms of, I think I look at it as a muscle. It's something that
Yeah.
you have to exercise depending on what you want to do. Some people are very confident when it comes to speaking on camera. That's not something that that I'm confident with. That's a muscle that I'm trying to build. Some persons are confident when it comes to maybe talking about themselves and what they do, right? But they're not confident in getting dressed and knowing what to wear. So it's just, I look at confidence, it depends on what you are capable of doing. What's that thing that you're good at and you find yourself most confident in that? And then, of course, it's like, what am I not so great at? And so you work on those confidence, like work on the confidence muscle and knowing what do I want to do? What are some of the things do I need to do to develop this side of my confidence? I hope that I answer your question. I don't think it's something you're born with because
Yeah,
there's
I agree.
so many things that we do on a daily basis as individuals that we're not confident in every single thing that we do. So you have to develop the muscle in whatever you decide to do. Okay, I want to do this, I need to be confident. If I'm not confident in it, then I need to do that. But yeah.
I agree. I love your answer to that because I know when I was a child, I did not like being on camera. I did not like speaking. I've shared stories before where I've gotten on camera or gotten on a stage and completely bombed. Like could not even remember my name, what I was supposed to say, and it just makes me feel good. Like I was interviewing a gal, Erin. She's our nonprofit for Social Connect, and we did this quick video about her mission, and she's like, oh my gosh, like we did that in one take. You're a natural. I'm like, do you know how long it took me to get to this
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
That this was not just this learned thing that I just was like rolled out of bed and was born with it. Like I had to really work at this.
Yeah.
And on a flip side, Solita, I still remember, like, I love that we're talking about image too and styling and just how do you show up more confidently. And those are some questions that I'll be asking. But I remember I was a uniform girl. Like I went to parochial school. I was Catholic. I had a uniform. Like it was a no brainer. I wake up, I wear the same green jumper. And I remember when my mom brought me to public school and I was like the hot mess, like
Oh,
don't know how to dress, don't know how to match clothes, don't know what goes with what. And I just had to go to her. I'm like, teach me how to dress, teach me how to put clothes together because I'm failing miserably at this. And it's that, I mean, that in and of itself can really wreck your confidence too, especially at
Yeah.
a young age when you're like, I don't got the style down. I don't even know what I'm supposed to wear.
Exactly. And that's the thing, right? When we think about as women, there's this expectation that we should know how to dress.
Hmm.
It's like you should know how to dress. You're a woman. It's like no. When you think about it, no one actually taught us how to dress. Like you, like my entire life. It's only now that like I have my own business, I can decide what I want to wear.
Right.
But as a kid, think about it. Your parents told you what to wear. You didn't really have a choice. If you went to school that had a uniform, like I went to throughout my entire school life, and I'm talking all the way to college, because in Antigua we have a local college,
Mm-hmm.
Antigua State College, and they make you wear a uniform. Like you
Yes.
literally have a uniform. So you're being told what to wear
Mm-hmm.
every single day. Then you go into corporate. If you happen to go into a corporate environment with a uniform, you're told what to wear.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get to that point where you're no longer in this type of structure, and it's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do? But I look at that time as the best time of your life for self discovery, because you get to define who you are. You
Mm-hmm.
get to define how you want to show up. You get to actually put yourself first and say, okay, this is what feels good on me. No, I don't like this. Oh,
Yeah.
I want to look this way. And you get to create your outer confidence. Like you get to create it, whereas someone else was telling you in order to show up into the professional space or to attend the school, this is how you need to look. But
Mm-hmm.
this is your moment. And so I like the fact that you actually went to your mom and say, okay, I don't know what to do. I wish a lot of women would do that. Like
Yeah.
admit it's okay to say you don't know what to do, because we weren't taught what to do. We were told what to wear.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's funny. I was just talking to my sister about that. I'm like, "Do you remember my purple shirt that she paired with the black and white plaid shorts and my
Uh,
jelly shoes?" But I mean, it's just like you said, Solita. Like you expect women to just know this
yeah,
innately, but we don't know how to do makeup. We don't know how to
yeah,
dress. We don't know any of these things. And you're right, it can really be a confidence killer, especially because we're surrounded by so much
yeah,
judgment. Like people are
yeah,
judging you all the time. So I've shared before, and I don't know if I've talked to you about this, but I wanted to go, after I had started working on cameras and things, I wanted to be a broadcast journalist. But the thought of someone, the world, criticizing me because of my hair, my makeup, my clothes, my weight gain, my not weighing enough, all that, like really, really stuck to me that I was like, I don't want to be in that role ever. Like that to me will just shoot me down all the time. Like I will
yeah.
always be feeling criticized all the time. And it was just like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that at all.
And see, I mean, I hear what you're saying there. I feel it. I connect with it, because you're not alone in that mindset. You're not
Mm-hmm.
alone in not wanting to be visible. That's what a lot of women do when they think about entering. Let's use for example, you go into corporate and you're told to be successful, to be a leader, to progress in your job as a woman, you need to put your head down. Don't take up too much room. Don't be too this. Don't be too that. And all the don't be, shrink to fit in the
Right.
hopes that you can advance. And we also look at it, okay, if I don't make a lot of noise, if I don't disrupt the status quo, then
Yeah.
maybe I'll get to that level of success that I'm looking for. Because society is telling us to be successful, to be a woman, to come into this space, this is what you need to do. And
Mm-hmm.
then those same, like the insecurities that we're drawing, we we're bringing it into ourselves, bringing it into our space, thinking those beliefs, those boxes that they put us in are true.
Right.
Like there are going to be, whether or not you pursue that career and you're on television and you're there, or you're doing what you're doing now, there's going to be someone
Mm.
that's going to say to you, "Oh, Tish, you're being too much. Oh, why don't you just not, maybe don't have an opinion on everything, or maybe not wear that." There's going to be someone around. This is my thing. This is how I believe. What's more important to you? Your health and happiness, or how a small percentage of people see you based on their biases and belief? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's not true what they're thinking. How, like, oh, don't wear your hair that way, don't wear that color. It's because that's their belief. Do you remember when women were told they should only wear dresses and skirts and stockings?
Mm-hmm.
Where was that narrative coming from? That was coming from someone else's belief that that's how we should show up.
The male perspective, perhaps.
Exactly. Exactly. And if we decided that, oh no, I'm going to wear pants, how dare you as a woman wear pants? How dare you wear a pantsuit? Are you trying to be the male figure in your family? The criticisms were there. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, right now, especially right now, we have the power to change the narrative by deciding that we're going to take up space. And when you're taking up space, that means you have to do some of the things. I'm gonna quote a mentor of mine. She's like my internet mentor. It's not like I've asked her to be my mentor. I kind of like follow what she her work and everything. So I'm like, she's my mentor, Minda Harts. And she's one of the things that she said, let your let your courage be greater than your caution,
Mm.
because your courage is what's going to help change the dynamics for how women are seen. Your courage is what's going to motivate another woman to say, you know what? I am going to walk into this space and I'm going to show up boldly. I'm not going to shrink. This is not me trying to tell you you need to pursue that career, but that's kind of me trying to tell you, don't let people's opinion shrink you from not going what you want. And that's what happens, right? We allow people's opinion of us, and a very small percentage, to control the things that we want to do and to affect how we show up for ourselves and the goals that we have. No, we're taking up space. We're taking up space. We're showing up boldly, and we are letting our voices heard. And you can do that with your outer confidence. That's a way. If you're an introvert like me, I walk into a room and I'm like, okay, all of this is going to speak on my behalf, because that's going to be the first thing. Because if you leave it up to me, if I walk into a room and I don't know anyone, I'll be standing in the corner waiting. But my outer confidence, what I wear and how I show up, is what attracts people to me, which makes it easier for me to now engage in conversation, to tell my story, and engage with that person, learning more about them. So please don't, I beg of you, don't.
Well, and you didn't even know it, but you just answered the question that I had, which is, what would you tell someone who is criticizing you, who is trying to steal your confidence? So I love
Wow.
kudos to you, Solita, for saying that,
No.
because
Yeah,
you're like, do not dim your light. You have a voice, own that voice, and that's their own insecurities that
yeah,
are backfiring on you. Like, don't even listen to it. I really
absolutely.
love some of these comments coming in. Ananira, Harry, thank you so much for being here today live. Great to have you. And then we have Rachel Osterman saying, so very true. I remember when I told my mom I was going to wear pants, she was happy I made that step, but my dad had a hard time with my decision.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's,
And that's a
yeah,
reality. That's a
right.
reality for a lot of women, because of those cultural and societal expectations and boxes that said, to be a woman or to be seen, we need to fit into a mold.
Hmm.
And I'm going to ask if Rachel, I hope that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. How did it feel for you? Because it was about you. How did it feel for you having that power, that courage to say, this is how I want to express myself. This is how I
Yeah.
want to show up. This is This is how I define and tell my story.
Mm-hmm.
Because once taking that power away from someone and reflecting it back on you as to how you want to show up, there's absolutely nothing more powerful than that. Because if you think about it this way, I like that Shonda Rhimes, The Year
Mm-hmm.
of Yes, where she talked about whenever she says yes to something, she'll say no to something else.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it
Right.
as the same way. Whenever you shrink, whenever you conform, whenever you stay within that box based on cultural expectations, society, and you conform in one way, you're doing it another way.
Yeah.
But you may not realize until you do that introspection and saying, wait a minute, if I am conforming to this standard of professionalism, the standard as to what I should wear and how I should show up, what are some other ways that I might be holding myself back, that I might be conforming? And you will be surprised to realize that, oh, I don't really speak up in meetings, but
Mm-hmm.
oh, I don't advocate for myself a lot, but oh, I don't really negotiate. I shy away from conflict. And all of that is impacting who I am. Imagine
Mm-hmm.
if you decide that you're going to say no more. You choose freedom over fear, and you decide to rewrite all of that for yourself. It starts with you. You're doing it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, what happens? You doing it for other women, because when you show up, when we look at the images for women in, like, you're scrolling a corporate website and you're looking at the exec team and you see a woman and you see a reflection of yourself, she's basically giving you permission to say, you know what, how can I be my authentic self? It's not to be like her, but what does my authentic self look like? And how
Mm-hmm.
can I show up as my authentic self? So when my daughter is scrolling on the internet and sees my image or sees another woman's image, she's saying, oh, I don't have to wear the navy blue suit with the white button down top. I can actually wear a pink blazer and be a leader. Okay, great. I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm. I
The
bought the
domino
pink suit.
effect is the explosion is just greater. We're creating spaces for other women to show up as their authentic self, and I'm like, I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Right. I know. And you talk a lot about authenticity. And I think that's why I was so drawn to you too, because you know me, authenticity is everything. Like
Yes.
you show up as you. I mean,
Yep.
I get on stages and I refuse to wear a dress. Honestly, I refuse. I am so much more comfortable
Yep.
in jeans and some cute Converse and a fun t shirt and a blazer because that is my style. Like that's
Yep.
how I show up. If I have to wear a dress, I will still sport my Converse or some shoes like that because I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be up there, falling down and, my feet hurt and
Yep.
all this. And so, and I love it because you know what? It gave me the permission to say, I'm going to do this, whether you like it or not. This is how I'm going to show up. And now I think people are like, so what kind of Converse are you going to wear today? Like they're expecting that. Or some
Exactly.
have said, where did you get the shoes? Because I'm not going to go buy those shoes because I love that style. So I bought this shirt, Salita. I don't know if you have Five Below in Atlanta. We have Five
Yes.
Below
Yes.
all over. Yeah,
I've seen a couple of them.
yeah, so they're just popping up all over, but they have the cutest little cheeky shirts, right? That just have some cute sayings on them. And I bought this one that I'm like, oh, yes, I'm buying that. And it just said, I am not for everyone. Boom.
And
Enough
that
said.
and
Enough
we
said.
have and that's the thing about when you define your aesthetics, when you define your personal style, when you define what your signature style is. And I love how you've defined your signature style. Whereas you're looking for, how can I be like, who am I? What's comfortable for me? What is my message? What's the brand that I want to establish?
Hmm.
because that's ultimately what you're doing as an entrepreneur, as a professional. You're
Right.
establishing your brand, you're becoming known for something. So you have
Hmm.
become known for, Tisha's going to wear the Converse. What is it going to be? What color? Where did she get it? That's a conversation, and people are leaning into you now because you've connected with them based on who you are. So
Right.
when you're thinking about what your personal style is going to be, it's not how do I want others to see me? It's how do I want to see myself, and who am I willing to connect with? And being
Hmm.
okay with knowing that someone is going to say, why isn't she wearing that? Why is she not wearing that? And be okay with not fitting into their narrative.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, you're talking about not wearing dresses. I know of a executive coach who teaches her, her membership as women when they're doing speaking engagements to only wear pants. But I'm like, we're individuals. We have
Hmm.
our own personalities. We have our own way of expressing ourselves. We have our own way of, like, our cultural experiences, identity, influences everything about us. But I don't really like pants. I feel great in skirts. I feel great in dresses. Why should I change myself? Because to her, when you wear pants, you, as a speaker on stage, you look more powerful. Not really. Because if you're not confident in it, how are you going to look
That's it.
powerful? You're just
That's
going to
it.
look like a misfit, and you're going to feel inwardly, you're going to feel like, no, this is not me. And that's going to shine on the outside. So
Really.
you have to connect your personality. You have to connect how you want to show up, just like you would your brand. When you were thinking about your brand, you thought about the colors, you thought about the font, you thought about, how you want to package it, how you want to sell it, how you want. It's the same thing when it comes to your wardrobe. How do you
Hmm.
want to show up? What are the pieces that you need to put in your wardrobe that's going to allow you to confidently show up as your authentic self? What are those pieces? And that's it. You add them to your closet and you wear it and rock it. I guarantee you, majority of the people will like you. The five that don't, I'm sorry. But we pay so much attention to that small percentage and miss the opportunity of the masses that's really gravitating to us, because we've been taught, oh, let's please everybody, let's make
Right.
sure everybody's okay. Like, no, you're gonna ruffle some feathers, and that's the shirt says. You're not for everybody. So
True, true. I have a good friend, Tabitha, who's out here in Arizona, and I've always remembered this story that she shares. So she's also doing some image consulting, but she said that she was on a stage and there were about five women in the audience, and they all showed up in like cheetah print, and they didn't know each other, but they all gravitated toward each other and sat with each other. And by the end of this conference, they were like best
yeah,
buddies.
yeah,
And she went to them and said, "Did you ladies know each other? Did you plan these outfits? Or like we just met in the
yeah,
lobby? We were immediately attracted to each other because we have the same similar style.
yeah,
And look at us. Like we're great friends within one day." And so I agree. And I've shared those stories too, Salita, of people who have come to me because of something I was wearing or
yeah,
because of the way I showed up in the room. And they actually have become my best friends, clients, vendors, collaborative partners. Like you show up the way you want to show up, and people gravitate toward
yeah.
that because they're looking for that. They want people that are very similar too.
Yeah, absolutely. I made a post today on LinkedIn where I talked about networking. Like, first of all, I hate the word networking. It just feels very. I was like, can we just call it professionals getting together in a room and we're getting to know each other? Because networking always feels like, okay, I'm gonna come with my business card. I need to have my elevator
Yeah,
pitch, and that's
big
not.
mess.
It's not me. I don't feel confident with that particular mindset. And so one of the things for me, it's important that, and this is way before I decided that I'm going to be a stylist. It was always important for me when I walk into a room that I didn't know, like at the time, that was the language, let your clothes speak for you. I was like, when I walk into a room, something that I'm going to be wearing, either the color, the way I combine and style the outfit, my shoes. I need some element of my appearance to draw people to me,
Mm-hmm.
because it then takes away that pressure for me to walk up to someone and introduce myself and I don't know them. Like, I am super awkward with that. I'll
Mm-hmm.
be the person standing in the background and waiting for someone. But every single time I go to an event, first time, and I walk into that room, someone is going to say, "Oh my gosh, just the picture that I post today. Oh, I love the outfit combination. I love that color." And that is how the conversation started. That's how it's like, oh, it feels more natural.
Right?
So
It
think
does.
about, it's a barrier. I look at it as a barrier to entry when it comes to conversation starters. People are going to gravitate to you based on your appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Use it to your advantage.
Use it to your advantage. I always say to even my clients, I'm like, we're not going to just stick to black and white and gray.
Yeah.
If anything, like you talk about networking events, don't show up in those colors. You will blend in with
Can you say that?
every
Can you say
single
that again?
person.
Let's say that again. Can
Do
you
not
say?
wear black, white, gray to your networking event, please,
Yeah.
because you will blend in with every single person. There's going to be no attraction to come to you. So, like you're saying, Solita, now I have to go and talk to people. I have to go and introduce myself, and I'm not going to be memorable.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really not, because people are remembering me because of what I'm wearing, what I chose to wear that night. So I always say that too. I'm like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Please do something different. Please show up differently.
Sure, sure. And but here's the thing though. Here's why that's happening, at least from what I've experienced. First of all, we're still in that, some women are still in that
Comfort.
corporate mindset,
Right.
professional mindset of what it looks like, what it should look like. So instead of going into their closet or buying pieces that reflect who they are, they're buying pieces to reflect what they think is professional. So we have to basically re-engineer that. How do you want to show up? What does that look like for you? And start buying those pieces that reflects who you are. But I'm totally on the same page with you. You walk into that room with the black and white and the gray and nobody remembers you.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think about it this way. Have you ever had a product? Maybe you've seen a product, you were busy, you're walking through the mall and you saw a product, but you didn't have time to shop for it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember, and you're like, okay, you know what? I saw that lipstick that I like. It had, and you're describing it to a friend. It was in this gold case with a blue, and you're describing it because the visual is
Right.
what grabbed you, and the only thing you can't remember is the name.
Mm-hmm.
Think about when you enter a room and you enter a space the same way. People are gonna often remember the visuals.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like me, the visuals is how I remember your name because I'm gonna connect. Oh, Tish was the person that was wearing that green top with those super cute Converse because I'm associated, I'm linking it
Yeah.
now.
Right.
But if you're wearing the
Black.
corporate uniform and 10 other persons that I engaged with that same night was wearing the same thing, unless you had a really compelling story, that really compelling when we connect, I'm not going to remember you.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't remember you, that's an opportunity that you missed.
Mm. Good points. All right. I want to bring in some comments here and then give you time to shamelessly plug away, Solita. But Rachel, I wanted to just share some of her comments. You would ask the question, but she did say it felt good. That's where my encouragement ministry started. And it brought out something that I couldn't hold back. Oh, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Bruce also showing up saying, great conversations about defining your style. So key to be and show up the best I can for others. Great points, Tisha and Salita. Thank you so much. And Mr. Ruby, thank you. This is such a sweet comment. This is always a great visit. I attended the police academy to prep for the streets. Tisha Talks is the academy to succeed in everything, a new instructor every Friday. Oh,
Oh,
awesome. Such a
yeah.
great compliment. I love
Yes.
that for Friday. I mean, you
Yeah,
guys
that's
have heard.
good.
I do the show because I love bringing on guests that I really feel you're going to relate to. They have some great tips and strategies and pointers for you. And it's a little selfish because I love to learn as much as you guys love to learn. So I get to meet the coolest people from all around the globe and bring them here for you. So that's my little plug.
Yeah. Hey, and you're doing a fantastic job in just bringing together different experts to have these conversations because we need to hear different perspectives, right? And
Yeah.
so, congrats to you for having this show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Well, like I told you, I was destined for that broadcast journalism, this whole
it's never too
stage.
late. You can still do it.
But you know what, Selena? I'm so fortunate that things like this exist because I'm
Yeah,
like, look at this. I have my own talk show.
exactly. And it's all in your control how you want to show
Exactly.
up with the production and everything. So, see,
Exactly.
sometimes we get our dreams in a different format.
I agree. I will
Yeah.
cheers to that. Okay, Solita, so take us home. Tell us how people can find you, what's going on. I have a
Yeah.
couple of your links up here, so I'll show those as well while you're sharing.
Yes. So LinkedIn is my platform of choice. I know I see some of my LinkedIn people in the
Yeah, welcome
comments.
everyone.
So connect with me on LinkedIn if we haven't connected as yet. Send me a message. Let me know how what you thought about today's conversation. And maybe share with me what is one of your style challenges when it comes to showing up as your authentic self. To work with me, you can go to my website, which is styletaimpact.com. The first step is to do a consultation so we can talk about it. It's very friendly. It's not a sales conversation because I want to learn what are some of your challenges, what your goals are, and how do you see yourself showing up in the world as your true and authentic self. And of course, how can I support you through that process? So if you're interested in working with me, then of course, definitely you can connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a DM, or you can go directly to my website. So thanks again, Trish. Tisha. Tisha.
Yes, of course. I want to throw this comment up because it just makes me laugh. I'm going with fuchsia pantaloon. You know what? You were talking about suits, and I just bought a pink suit because I bought it in this color. And yesterday I just bought like a fuchsia dress because I'm like, that's my style. That's my
Viva
color.
Viva Magenta is Pantone's color of the year, which is it's like a blend between pink, burgundy, and I'm absolutely loving it. So you're gonna see that splashed all over, like in all the stores. So I thumbs up for going color. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah. More
Embrace
color.
color. Embrace the color.
Well, Salita, this has been such a treat. Thank you for being on today. And thanks to all of our guests for tuning in
Yeah.
live to the Global University, which is Tisha Talks Live. I love that. Yeah, it makes me so happy to hear that. And I just want to say thanks again for everybody being here. And
No,
Salita, I so want to meet you in person when I head to Atlanta in early
we'll
May.
love
So I
that.
will connect with you and hopefully we can grab coffee, and I will not wear black. I will wear something extravagant.
You don't need to wear
Something with
anything
lots of color.
extravagant. Just be yourself. Be yourself,
Exactly.
but let's stay away from the black unless it's a power piece.
Yes, unless it's a power piece. All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. We'll catch you back next week on another Tisha Talks Live. Have a great weekend and be safe out there. All right. Happy
Yeah.
February.
Bye.
Bye.